Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here, my next Avatar news update slash discussion video this time. And we actually have some big news this time, and that is that we finally have the preview for Smoke and Shadow Part 3. And the source of the preview, funnily enough, is actually the site I run, Avatar The Last Airbender Online.com. Dark Horse finally got back to me. I will be getting a review copy for Smoke and Shadow Part 3, as far as I'm aware. I'm not getting it just yet. They said they'll get me the copy soon. But in addition to that, they did send me 6 preview pages and said that basically here's 6 exclusive preview pages for the book, and I'll get you the review copy soon. So there's the update on where these pages come from. As far as I'm aware, our site got the preview. It seems like someone found them somewhere else, because I waited a little bit before posting them, because obviously in the email that he sent, they didn't specifically mention that, like, here's them for posting on your site, but at the same time I'm kind of like, why would they just send me an exclusive preview only for me to look at and not actually post to anyone else? So, you know, I erred on the side of caution with it and like waited for a response. But when I saw that people had like found the images somewhere else, I didn't know where they found them. I just posted them up on the site. So, that's the story there. So yeah, the pages are up. It includes the previous preview page we had before, which turns out to be like the 4th or 5th page from the book. But anyway, let's get into the preview pages. Smoke and Shadow Part 3, of course, comes out March 30th in comic book stores on April 12th, mass market release date. So yeah, first page, which, looking at the page numbers, is actually page number 6. And usually these comics, like the story starts on page that is numbered 5. So it seems like there's 1 or 2 potentially pages that happen before this one. And, you know, I assume potentially they're holding that back because it's maybe Azula talking or something like that. Because as you'll see, they seem to specifically avoid certain scenes with the pages that they sent me. So yeah, we have Azula lightning generating at Zuko, and Zuko's just about to say his line. He said a bunch of times actually in the comics and in the show, you know, I can redirect anything at you, but he's stopped by the fact that she actually stops lightning generating and switches which hand she's doing it with, and actually hits him with a blast from her other hand. And if you go back and look through the panels, you can see what actually happens. There's a downward motion of her arm in the first panel, so effectively what she's done is she's thrown a little bit of lightning at him with her left hand, and then quickly shifted over to her right hand and actually hit him with some power there. Of course, it's not going to keep Zuko down for a long time, because I assume she hasn't had a chance to really build it up. It's just a like quick blast. But the fact that she hit him shows that she's learned a little bit since she's been gone in the series. Still don't know why that is though. But anyway, Aang blocks Zuko from smashing into a wall, and yeah, Azula goes to run off, and this is where we get that fight scene with Ty Lee and Suki. So Suki, you know, takes her down. The little fight, Ty Lee gets slapped, and then we cut away from that scene. Like it's pretty interesting that like they specifically didn't give me 6 pages in a row. Like we skipped from page 8 to page 14, I believe, yes. And we have this scene that's clearly, like, obviously a good few pages have passed here, and Aang, what we get here, what we assume has happened in between, is that they've ran off. Azula has gotten away, clearly. Maybe Zuko's been the one to pursue her, and Zuko has told Aang to stay behind and just stay in the palace. Don't even bother to investigate or anything. And you can see how frustrated Aang is. Like, he's my best friend, you know, he makes me so. And Ty Lee just says, you know, frustrated, your aura is twisted up in knots. And we get Aang referencing wishing he had Sokka here to figure this out. But Suki's just like, Sokka would sneak off on his own. He wouldn't obey Zuko's orders. And so Suki leads the two of them away to actually start to investigate. So they're going to try and figure out where Ki has been taken based on evidence in the room and stuff like that. So the investigation continues with I suppose the interesting trio of Suki, Tylee, and Aang. Three characters who, like, individually, I suppose you don't really know too much about their relationship, but it's pretty fun. Yeah, page 15, we cut back to the room where all the kids are being kept. Ukano's there, and we see the other two Kamurakage arrive there, of course, with Kiyi, so confirmation that they do get Kiyi to the place where, like, Tom Tom and the others are being kept. We see a little bit of Tom Tom there. Kiyi's fighting a lot. They mention that they had sedative, which is why they're able to keep the kids so quiet, and I suppose potentially reveals what the smoke is. The smoke is some sort of a kind of gas sedative or something like that. It's not confirmation just yet, but I assume that's potentially what it means, because I don't think we saw them attack the kids in any sort of a way that looked like they were giving them sedative. But at the same time, we've actually basically only seen them with the kids. I don't think we've ever seen them taking the kids and what exactly they do. But yeah, Kiyi just kind of fights back. She says, my big brother is Fire Lord Zuko. He's gonna beat you into a pulp. And yeah, and it's the end of the preview, the final panel of the preview, is really interesting because it's these other two Kamurakage who we don't know who they are, and they just say that one's got fight in her. It's in her blood. Now, I find that a really interesting line because, of course, it seems to suggest that these are people who know who Kiyi's family is. Because I think everyone has to be aware of the fact that Kiyi is not Zuko's, I suppose that, the parents of Kiyi, the two of them, are not the same as the parents of Zuko. That she has a different father. So the blood section has to be talking about Ursa's blood. And so it's either referring to Ursa herself or the fact that it's the lineage of Avatar Roku, and that Ursa is related to Roku. Now, what does that really suggest? As I've mainly speculated very early in Smoke and Shadow, potentially these could be fire sages, but I'm not fully sure. It probably more links into what exactly Azula has been doing the entire time that she's been gone, in between the search and this part of Smoke and Shadow. So it's a really interesting line to end off the preview because, yes, it's fundamentally, it's just the enemies noting that this child is very spirited and has some fight compared to the others, but the mention of her blood specifically seems very important. And it seems to, again, as I said, suggest that either these two are familiar with Ursa and a strong will in Ursa, or a strong will from Roku and them knowing the lineage and stuff like that. So, yeah, a little bit to discuss here for sure. Azula is kind of figuring out that, look, she could, that just because Zuko has lightning redirection doesn't mean she has to lose every fight from here on out, that she's still strong, she can still learn. She still hasn't taken the mask off. Zuko seems to have gone off to pursue Azula alone, at least to some extent, and Aang is kind of being left out of that. And Aang is frustrated, and then more importance placed on Kiyi again. So that's very interesting to me. As I said, they seem to have skipped over some pretty important scenes. Like, you can sort of tell that between pages 9 and 13, something of note happens with regards to the characters, like the scene between Zuko and Aang, and, is Zuko in direct pursuit of Azula, or does Azula escape and he goes off on his own? Do we see May during these panels, and so on? There's a lot of stuff that could happen, but and then again, the first 2 pages, or first page of the book, isn't included in the preview either, so there's still a lot to learn. Like, this preview gives us a little hint as to, I suppose, the direction of the story, but we're still super early in the book here. The preview pages were very much selected to not reveal an incredible amount of things, which potentially explains why the preview took so long to come out. But yeah, that's all the analysis I can really do on these pages, at least for now. I'm assuming I'm going to be getting my review copy on Monday or sometime next week, and the second it happens, I'm going to try and get my review out, video and written review, non-spoiler review, basically the day I get the review copy. Obviously, it depends on when exactly I get it, but that's my plan as ever, to get the review out as soon as possible. So hopefully, at least myself will have read the book and know how this book comes to an end, and can roughly give you an idea of how successful the ending is sometime next week. So yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.